laughter show tonight. That was really funny. Hi, how are you, crowd? Cool, I'm glad you're here. I hope you guys all know, I'm working out a special I'm taping next week that Alexis just told you was 45 jokes about my dead dad. You guys knew that, right? Okay, good. So I appreciate you coming out and thinking that's an acceptable way to spend a Saturday night in San Francisco. You could be getting numerous hand jobs, blow jobs, anything upstairs. And instead you're here for some very grim comedy. So I appreciate that. I'll do all that stuff and then I'll do some regular shit at the end. So, and if there's at any point, it's like too rough, this is too depressing, I do have big boobs. Feel free to look at them. It's okay by me. People seem to enjoy that. It doesn't mean anything to me. They've been big since I was 10, but if you ever have to jump off, you're like, you can't take it. You can look lefty or righty. They're both equally pleasing, I've been told. So this is exciting. And if this goes well, I'm going to do, I'll give you a little sample about a song from my musical about Ebola. So yeah, it's going to be a good night. So here's what happened. Last year, my dad died in March. He had cancer. He had cancer for 9 months, then he was on hospice, and then he died. And, the jokes write themselves. I just sort of channeled it. So that's kind of what I'll be talking about. And I know it's a very sensitive topic, and people can get uptight, and I just want to reassure you, you are in the hands of a professional. You really are. I have been a comedian for 27 years. And I started right here in San Francisco in 1987. I am an Emmy-nominated writer on the Conan O'Brien Show. Thank you. I think I know what I'm doing. All right, so everyone relax. Knock, knock. Not my dad, he's dead. That's show number 1, guys. We are off and running. Not as poignant as you thought, correct? We are off and running. He died 7 months ago, and I think of the Kubler-Ross 5 stages. I've been through 4. Denial, anger, Twitter, comedy at Doc's Lab. My boyfriend has been amazing throughout this whole process. Like, he stopped asking, in bed he stopped asking, who's your daddy? Then he started asking, who's the father figure you would like me to pretend to be from behind? This is like my first big death, Well, I take it back. It's my second big death. My first big death was when my iPhone died during a tweet. Guys, it was a really good tweet. You never know if that's going to be the tweet that gets retweeted by Patton Oswalt. Thank you. Some jokes everyone will laugh at, and then some jokes just one person will laugh at, but that will be the only joke that they laugh at. That was yours. I don't know, has anyone been through that yet? Has anyone lost a parent yet? Yes, you have, yeah. Yes, it's very traumatizing. No matter how old they are. My dad was 83, and no one really freaks out when an 83-year-old dies, except for other 83-year-olds. They get very alarmed. What the fuck's wrong? So it is tough. It's even tougher if you were hoping to lose the other parent first. You guys, if you knew my mom, you would be giving me a standing ovation right now. My mom is a pistol, that's how she's often described, and that's what you want to put in your mouth when she talks to you. A pistol. I'm not the only one that felt that way. My dad's last words to me were, ha ha, she's your problem now. He ascended to heaven like a conquistador. He had finally vanquished his enemy. I've learned in this process that the most effective condolence you can give somebody is the very bland, I'm sorry for your loss. Yes, it is perfect. You don't have to add anything to it. I've had people add shit to it. You never follow it up with, were you guys close? That's always wrong. Because, like for me, of course we were close. I'm writing jokes about him, and that's how I show people I love them. You know, but if they weren't close, you have opened up a fucking can of worms. You're about to hear why they were close, and all of a sudden you're at work hearing the accountant's molestation story on your break. You're like, oh my God, I'm sorry for my loss of the next 15 minutes of my life. So keep it short. Here's a very inappropriate example of keeping it short. I was having sex with my boyfriend, and in the middle he starts talking to me, and he goes, your pussy's so tight. And I was like, hooray! Because I've had a baby. Like, no one ever says that to me. Ever, you know? So, and that's, if you're a woman, that's the only adjective you want applied to your genitals, is that they're tight, all right? It works for every age, race, whatever. So then, I'm happy, then my boyfriend keeps talking. It's interesting, it interests me. I'm like, no, you ruined it. And I got so upset, I told him the accountant's molestation story. So I guess my overall point, in condolences and in sex, keep it short. Your pussy is tight. I'm sorry for your loss. That's all you have to say. Let's see. Oh, okay, are they all right? You know what, I'm gonna do a little cheat, you guys, because I just want to make sure. Oh yeah, all right, it's a really odd segue. So my dad would love the fact that I'm telling jokes about him, just so, not that joke you just heard. He wouldn't want to know about my tight pussy, but in general, he would love that I'm telling jokes about him. Like, he used to go on the road with me, he would sit in the back and watch the show. So I feel like his spirit is here, and some people are sitting on him. And we never agreed on anything. We had a very wonderful relationship anyway. Like, he was a very devout Catholic, so he would write a check out to the Catholic Church every Saturday night and leave it by the table, and then he would take it to Mass the next day. And when he would go to bed, I would write on the memo, Pedophile Defense Fund. We laughed and laughed. It never got old, and it never got inaccurate. My dad he was in the Tea Party. I am not in the Tea Party. I'm a single mom. My son is half Mexican and my boyfriend is black, and I belong to a union. So I am not in the Tea Party. I'm very, very liberal. So it's sort of this weird thing where, as a daughter, I'm devastated that my dad has died, but as a liberal, that's one less member of the Tea Party. Guys, we have a nasty midterm coming up. And I know, I feel you pulling back. I go, that was a mean joke. If in a parallel universe, if Ann Coulter had a liberal dad, she would tell that same joke. Or it's a moot point, because if she had had a liberal dad, he would have killed himself decades ago. But one time, when my dad he was sick for 9 months before he went to hospice. So during the sick part, where he was like battling cancer, I said, why don't, cancer seems like a tough way to go. I go, why don't I scare you and give you a heart attack instead? You're in the Tea Party, you scare easy. And he was like, all right, go for it. So during the height of the Obamacare with the website and everything, where Obamacare was crashing, I turned on the television, I just turned it on my dad, and he was like, and he was almost had a heart attack, and then he survived. So I go, Dad, I guess Obamacare didn't kill you. All right, that joke's on the bubble. You two talk through it, and then you guys moaned at it. I know, I fucking notice everything you do. Sorry, you dudes are right up front. It's tough up here. Oh yeah, it's a fucking cakewalk up here. Talking to you four sweatsuits from Great fucking Britain or wherever you're from. Coming down here thinking you're at a strip club going, what the fuck, they keep talking. I thought this was a stripper. What the fuck, she's wearing pants. So my dad had cancer, he had lung cancer. When they found it, it was stage 4 lung cancer, and the doctor's like, and there's no such thing as stage 5. You know, I'm like, all right, we got it, it's serious. Stage 4 is really difficult to survive. The only person I can think of who did was Lance Armstrong, right? He had stage 4 testicular, and he survived it, and he was an asshole. It's almost like you've got to be an asshole to survive that kind of cancer. It's like his cancer was like, this guy's a dick. I don't want to be in his balls. Let's go to Lori's dad. He seems cool. Wish we could figure out a way to slow down cancer so you could live with it for a long time. Like we do with HIV. You could live with HIV for a really long time, you know? You can have cocktails. It sounds fucking fun, man. HIV cocktail and a cancer chaser. We slowed down HIV. We slowed down Charlie Sheen. I don't know if you guys remember, a couple years ago, Charlie Sheen was crazy. We thought he was gonna die. Remember that? He had like stage 4 Charlie Sheen. And there is no stage 5. And everyone started tweeting about it and joking about it, and he kind of paid attention to it. He's like, oh shit, I gotta slow down. Like, he got off CBS, he went to FX where he's safe. And he's not in complete remission. I believe he just attacked a dentist. So that's like stage 2 Charlie Sheen. You know, that's practically Emilio Estevez. Excuse me, guys. I'm gonna take a very elegant sip. So whenever I feel sad about my dad, I just remind myself that he died doing what he did best, growing tumors. Right here, look right here. I'm gonna keep doing this joke, but if you can't, right here. Because I have a couple more tags on this joke. He learned how to grow tumors very late in life. A lot of people don't get good at shit when they're 83. But he kept doing it. Even on his last day, he was like, one more. I'm like, Dad. But I'm really inspired by his work ethic, so. My friend saw my show, she goes, oh, I get it, it's like you're roasting your dad. I was like, well, poor choice of words, he was cremated. He was, I have his ashes. My sister, my mom, and I each have a little bit of his ashes, and I was keeping mine in a vase on the mantle. I live in Los Angeles, and we had an earthquake, and the vase fell. So now I keep his ashes in a safer place. I keep them in a vacuum cleaner. I went out and bought a Dyson. It's the finest vacuum cleaner. I told the guy, I'm like, this is my dad's remains, not pet hair. You get that piece of shit Kirby out of my face. I want cyclone technology and a clear canister. I actually keep some right here. This is like a clotter ring, and it's made where you put ashes right here in the heart, so I have some right here. So this, just having this right here on my thumb, it always makes me feel close to my dad to have this here. I love that. It also helps me get out of a lot of hand jobs. Having them right here. Guys are like, what's that? And I'm like, that's my dad. It's also possible that my hand job technique is also helping me get out of some of the hand jobs. It's like a 1-2 punch. I like to squeeze and release. That's my dad, my Irish angel, watching over me. And make sure No, I won't. I won't, and I hope you visualize this hurting you. And then go right here. I'm very, I'm in a little bit of visual S&M for the show. You know what's weird is that it's totally acceptable to keep ashes, you know? That's a physical piece of your loved one. That's an actual part of their body. You could keep it. It's totally acceptable to keep ashes. Wear them. Bones, not acceptable. You can't wear your loved one's bones. You can't even keep them. What? That would be fucking cool, wouldn't it? As the casket's going in, what if they blindfold everyone in the family, you just reach in and grab something? I got a fever! Fuck yeah! a necklace made of a neck. A neck necklace. How fucking meta is that? People will be like, that is beautiful, and you can be like, thank you, it belonged to my grandma. My dad, 2 weeks before he died, he went shopping at Costco, and he bought 10 boxes of long-lasting light bulbs. He was in an oxygen mask. Like, I don't blame my dad, I blame Costco. They should have called me immediately. They should have been like, your dad is here, he has 2 weeks to live, and he's 180 years of light in his cart. I don't know why old people are allowed to buy in bulk at all. As soon as an old person wanders into Costco, they should immediately be driven to a CVS or a Walgreens. You buy lights and singles. You're being way too optimistic. And if someone has an oxygen mask, they should go right to the travel size section. Clearly you're about to go on a journey. Take some tiny shampoo bottles, but that's it. That's all you get, that's all you're gonna need. My dad turned 83 when he was dying. And that was great. It was very obvious this is going to be his last birthday, you know, so I didn't know what to get him. I was like, do I get him something he wants or something I want to inherit? Terrible quandary. I thought about it long and hard, and I got him an iPad. That's what he said. That really is what every elderly person wants, is to learn new technology. As they're dying. It really is what they want. No, honestly, guys, if I hadn't got my dad an iPad, all he would have inherited when he died was 10 boxes of long-lasting light bulbs. So, my son always looks, I have a 7-year-old son, he always looks at my iPad and asks me when I'm going to die. Oh, please, it gets worse, but it gets worse later in the show, guys. He is psycho. So, my dad, so he goes into hospice, and the whole hospice situation is so surreal. First of all, oncologists are just ridiculous doctors. They use the most benign language to describe the most malignant shit. You know, like my dad's cancer would come back, and you could see the tumors, and the oncologist is like, well, the chemo isn't providing the results that we'd hoped. Yeah, no shit, he looks like a sack of apples. Yeah, those aren't the results we'd hoped. I'd love to have sex with a male oncologist just so I could tell him his penis wasn't providing the results that I'd hoped for. So you go into hospice, and there's 2 kinds of hospice. You can, are you okay? Guys, right here. You all right? Okay. Are you an oncologist? I'm going to have sex with you tonight. No, I'm not. Are you saying to yourself, these jokes are not providing the results that I hoped for?
It's tough being an oncologist.
It is, I'm sure it is, sir. It's tough being a doctor, it's really rough. I was being sarcastic. No, God bless you. You do the Lord's work. What kind of cancer do you work on?
I'm actually internal medicine doctor. We're making fun of oncologists.
Oh, you are making it. So he's not an oncologist.
Well, internal medicine. Sorry.
Oh, so this is.
How hard it is to be an oncologist.
Like, I thought my jokes are inside. You guys are doing jokes only you get about internal medicine. Okay, you got it. Thank you, sir. I like how you heckled me, but it was supportive of me. I will interrupt the show, but you'll see I'm on your side. Hold on. Well, when someone goes into hospice, there's 2 kinds. You can go to a nice hospice place where the walls are painted a soothing color and the furniture matches. Or you can go to your house and be surrounded by shit you always meant to give away at a garage sale, which is what we did. My dad was on an IKEA couch for most of the time. Interesting fact, it's the first piece of IKEA furniture to ever outlast its owner. A little fact, that shit usually falls apart before you do, but not in hospice. they gave us a fuckload of morphine. They gave us like 6 bottles of morphine, and then I realized later the morphine is for the whole family. The unwritten rule is the sick person gets the most and the family gets the rest. You have to sign a contract. You need the morphine because there's this contract you sign, which is surreal, which is you promise that you're not going to call the doctor, you know, when the person starts to go downhill. You're supposed to let nature take its course, and that's really a, you know, like, you can't call the doctor, you can't call 911, you can't call an ambulance, you can't even call AAA. I'm like, what if he needs a jump? Yeah. What if he needs a tow? No. Okay. Maybe that joke's going, guys. I give that joke one more chance. And it got nothing. Okay, that's it. Little note to myself. Yes. Oh, so we're in hospice. My sister and I are doing most of the work. You know, we're watching my dad, taking care of him. We realized very quickly that there's a very good chance we might accidentally see our dad's genitals. And we're like, oh shit, that can't happen. Like, I've never seen his junk. I don't want to see it now. First of all, it's probably not at its best. Right? If you're going to accidentally see your dad's junk, it should be like when he's like 35 and fucking pounding your mom. Like, it should be peak junk, right? That's what he would want. They don't want you seeing it when they're 83. They want it. They want the fist. They want the big... They want the image to be... It's a long-lasting image, right? I mean, junk peaks at 35. I don't show mine to anybody. You heard my boyfriend said it's interesting. And he also said it's tight, but he's black. Fucking everything's tight to him. I'll believe it's tight when a white guy says it. Yeah. So, my sister and I came up with this like reverse gender Oedipal agreement where if one of us saw Dad's junk, the other would gouge her eyes out. We kept spoons all over the house. And whenever one of us was watching my dad alone, anytime we got close to the area, we would blow a rape whistle. And the other would come with blankets and blindfolds. It was very elaborate. But we ended up succeeding. We did not see our dad's stuff at all. So that was a relief. And also quite a feat because my dad was well endowed. And I don't know how well endowed, but he was. And I know that's true because my son is well endowed. And that's got to come from my dad, because it certainly doesn't come from his dad. You guys, some people think that joke is unnecessary. But I say, the world's only grandfather-grandson dick joke is completely necessary. In a time of ISIS and the Kardashians, this is what we need. It's a grandfather-grandson dick joke. Sometimes I think guys don't like that joke because it reminds them that their mothers know how big their dicks are. There's an internal flinching that happens. But I love that joke because it dings my ex, and I'm grieving, guys. Anything that makes me happy for the next year is okay with me. There's a sort of urgency in hospice too, you know, we were trying to get my dad to identify stuff. Like, there's a lot of artifacts. We had stuff on like a display case, and I realized, oh, my dad is the only one that knows what this shit is. No, my mom can't remember anything. So I would point it out to him, and he would tell me the story behind it. So I'm like this. He's like, well, that's a pocket knife from Korea. That's a belt buckle from the Philippines. I don't know what that is. And I was like, oh shit, sorry Dad, that's my vibrator. I don't know how I got the display case, but it's also from the Philippines. See Dad, I have things too. I have stories to tell you. We had a lot of visitors, of course, and this is just an interesting thing I noticed. We had 5 people ask my dad to say hello to their dead dog when he got to heaven. And 0 people ask him to say hello to their dead cat. It's like dog people believe their dogs are waiting for them, and cat people know their cats don't give a shit. Like, you know, your dead cat immediately moved in with a dead family and fucking forgot about you. They don't even try, they give up immediately. Mr. Puggles doesn't remember me. My dad had water from Lourdes. I don't know if you know the story of Lourdes. It's this big thing in the Catholic Church where this girl Bernadette in the late 1800s in France, in Lourdes, France, was at a grotto with a spring, and the Virgin Mary appeared to her 18 times, according to Bernadette. And so now it's a place where a lot of Catholics go and they feel like the water heals them. So my dad had a container of Lourdes water, and that water came from a truck stop bathroom in Pennsylvania, I'm pretty sure. What a fucking scam. I'm pretty sure the Virgin Mary told Bernadette, you should sell this water and make a lot of money. Good luck to you. My friend Brandy, because I was kind of tweeting about my dad, and my friend Brandy's like, record your dad singing happy birthday to you. So I did that, and then I played it in July when my birthday was. And that was really awesome to hear my dad singing happy birthday to me after he'd gone. And I also recorded him saying, I'm so proud of you, Lori. And I play that after a good set, or every time I turn my boyfriend down for anal sex. I'm so proud of you, Lori. Thanks, Dad. I feel good about me, too. So my dad was in hospice for 10 days. You never know how long they're going to be. It could be a day, it could be 6 weeks or 6 months or something like that. So every day you're just trying to keep them alive a little bit longer. And on day 8, he was having a really hard day. So I sat next to him and I turned on Fox News. I'm like, if anything will bring this guy back, it's Fox News. So we're sitting I watched it for like 15 minutes and my dad did not move, but I felt myself getting cancer. I'm like, this is unusual. So I turned that off, and then I turned on History Channel, and that was a sweet spot. I don't know if you know about old men and History Channel, but holy shit, World War II documentaries are the fountain of youth for old men. I turned on World War II, and my dad started to stir, like his eyes opened, he sat up a little bit, and it was this kind of cool trajectory that as Hitler rose to power, so did my dad. Sadly, they both had the same outcome, but we got to share a little bit, like an extra day and a half. I showed them a couple more vibrators. It was really cool. So now I have very conflicting feelings towards Adolf Hitler. Yes, he's a bad guy, but he did give my dad an extra day. I'm saying he did one good thing, guys. It's really hard to defend Hitler at this show right now. I feel like you guys are turned against me. The 9th day, he met my boyfriend the day before he died. And so here's my boyfriend, I told you he's black, and he's also a geologist, so, they met, they talked about rocks, they nerded out about rocks, and then my boyfriend left, and I go, Dad, you can't die today or people will think that you're racist. He held on for another day. But then he died the next day, and I was there when he died. I missed his last breath because I was on my phone. And I know that sounds horrible, but that shit's gonna happen. Like, you don't know it's their last breath until they don't take the next one. Like, the only reason you're gonna catch it is if you're the kind of creep who stares at people when they breathe. I got it. I would love it if dying people would give you a heads up when it's their last breath. Like, gather around, everybody. I think this is it. My last inhale, my last exhale. I have only one request, please. Nobody farts. I don't want my last inhale on earth to smell like your dinner at Taco Bell. I come from a family of assholes who cannot digest complex carbohydrates. So please, if you have to fart, maybe you could miss my last breath. Why don't you get the second to last one? Get the fuck out of my living room with a broken ottoman and an IKEA couch. So after my dad died, I remember that people, when they have near-death experiences, they say they hover over the scene. Have you heard that? Like, they'll watch what's going on. So I looked up, and I'm like, all right. I was trying to like tease him and goad him back into coming into his body again. I'm like, Dad, if you come back, I'll vote Republican. Nothing happened. So that was his time to go, because he really would have come back for that. pretty much got it. We kept his body for a whole day, which might sound strange, but the Oscars were on that night. And I'm like, Dad has never watched the entire Oscars. This is our last opportunity. Let's make him do it. And I will tell you, he enjoyed the Oscars as much in death as he ever had in life. He thought it was as funny. But it was really strange, and I'm glad we kept him for a whole day, because like if we'd have sent him off with the mortuary that day, it would have looked like my dad was going, because he looked like my dad. But in a whole day, the body really changes, and so the next day he really looked like a corpse. So when the mortuary came, it was like saying goodbye to Larry King. Larry King is a very nice guy who deserves better than that joke. But if it gets a better laugh, I'm going to keep it. Maybe could. Well, all right, guys, I'm giving you my internal shit. So then we get to the funeral. So we have we're supposed to have a Saturday funeral, right? And then we got bumped to Monday. Yes, because like a famous lady in the area died. And the priest was like, oh, she's gonna have a lot of mourners. We can't do her and your dad. And I was like, this is fucking bullshit. It should be first die, first serve, man. My dad died first, right? And as I was filling out paperwork, I saw the priest, he kind of noticed my handwriting. He's like, oh, if it isn't pedophile defense fund. You know what, I should bump your shit till Wednesday. So I don't know if you know about funerals. Funerals are like stand-up comedy, and then it's really difficult to get people to come to the Monday show. Like, I had to stand outside the church and bark mourners in. I was like, free funeral, everybody. The headliner's been on Conan. The eulogy's gonna be really funny. And even still, people are assholes. We're like, yeah, but do we have to buy drinks? And I'd be like, well, if you're Catholic, you can get one for free. You pretend you're Catholic, no one's checking, you get two for free, I guess. Back up again. So sometimes people show up at a funeral, I've never seen them before. Like this guy was almost as sad as my mom. He was bereft, he was an old Japanese guy, you know, and he comes up to me and he goes, your father always say howdy to me. And howdy was my dad's word, so I was like, this is incredibly bizarre. So I turned to get my sister to bring her over, and the Japanese guy's gone. I'm like, what the fuck? Who was this guy? Was he an angel sent by the History Channel to represent the Axis powers? Then a final salute to their greatest viewer. I don't know, I never saw him again. It was really strange. My son, I have a 7-year-old son, and 7-year-old boys are sociopaths. I don't know if you know, they only want what they want. So after the funeral, he's playing Minecraft on my iPhone. And I get a call, and I take the call, and I'm crying a little bit, and I hang up the phone. And my son, he's looking at the phone, he's like, hey mom, why are you sad? And I'm like, look around, right? Your grandpa's funeral. This fucking Japanese guy I've never seen knows why. He goes, yeah, but why are you crying? And I almost go, asshole, I just told you. But then he looks at my phone and he goes, are you sad because I'm not playing Minecraft? And I go, oh no, I changed my mind. I'm sad because you're a fucking serial killer. That's why I'm sad. I'm Ted Bundy's mother. Why are you wearing a necklace? I'm going to spend my last years testifying at your parole board, and I'm going to tell them to keep you, you fucking piece of shit. Said that with love, guys. I did get him back though, because we kept talking it out, and yes, my dad had lung cancer, and he goes, how did Grandpa get lung cancer? And I go, well, he quit a long time ago, but for many, many years, Grandpa played Minecraft. That's right, guys. There's only one sociopath in this family. It's Mom. You fucking amateur. So after the church funeral, we go to to bury. We're going to put the urn in the niche and all that stuff. And my dad was a vet, so we had a military funeral. We had a 21 gun salute. If you've ever seen those, it's pretty awesome. We have 3 guys in uniform, 3 servicemen in uniform, which, as a heterosexual woman, oh, holy shit, it's very disturbing to be aroused at your father's funeral. Like at your dad's funeral, the only part of your body that should be wet are your eyes. I was like, stop it, no! I have to give my genitals lectures constantly. Knock it off, stop! So they start shooting, so they each have a rifle, and they shoot it 7 times. It's very powerful. And as they're shooting, I was dying to just push my mom in front of them. And just give them a tip, you know, like, here's $500, let's turn this gun salute into a firing squad, please. You guys, we're at a cemetery, it's so fucking convenient. I guess they shoot blanks anyway, so it wouldn't help, but damn it, that was very tempting for a second. But here's what was amazing. Taps on a bugle is the most heart-rending, amazing melody I've ever heard. And so it makes everybody weep. And the bugler knows it. Like, our bugler kind of like walked out, you know, like all cocky, looking at her family like, oh, you motherfuckers are gonna go to hell. Because we're Irish, so we're joking and, you know, backstabbing each other and all that mean Irish shit, you know, and we're clearly not as upset as he wants us to be. So first he locks eyes with me, he starts bugling at me. He's like, sorry for my bugle, it's really bad. They're much better on it. But we're 6 notes in, and I'm crying, and my son is like feeling real emotions for the first time, and he starts trying to block the bugler like he's a vampire and the bugler's the son that's trying to kill him. The guy keeps going, and he does the last 6 notes. Right, and the whole family, all of us, my son, me, cousins, were all weeping. You know, and the bugler, mission accomplished, drops the bugle and walks off stage. I think he got a blowjob from one of my cousins afterwards. And then I went home and I wailed. I sat in my dad's office and I cried to the universe. I cried. I want my dad that. You ever do that wail from like the bottom of your body and you cry so hard and so long that when you finish, you like jazz. So afterwards, we were trying to figure out, my mom was trying to figure out what to put on the marker. You know, once you put the urn inside the niche, you can put we have like a little engraved marker, and we have my dad's name on it. And my mom was like, I don't know what to do. We only have 40 characters. And I was like, oh, finally, all these years of tweeting, now I understand why I wasted my time. I know it, I'm like, Mom, that's just over 1/3 of a tweet. I fucking got this. I'm like, husband, dad, #History Channel. All right, guys, that's a dead dog.